So we're going to do the same thing here for ours, but it's going to be, of course, the comic book version. So in our instances, we have Spec, which, in this instance, Spec kind of means like, you're going to get this book and eventually you're going to flip it. You feel like this is going to go up in value. Maybe you're going to sell it at the trailer. You're going to have that one night with it and make some money. Collect is going to be the one you're going to marry, right? This is going to sit in the PC. You're going to hang it on your wall, like those beautiful comics behind you. And it's basically never leaving your sight. And Forget is going to be the one that you're going to kill. You're going to burn that thing. You're going to send it to Mephisto's realm, as I always like to say. And, you're going to take another one off this earth. And maybe by, destroying one, you'll increase the value because the scarcity will be that much more. So do the rules kind of make sense to you, Sleepin, as far as that's concerned? Okay. And then chat, of course, I'm going to need your guys' participation here. Okay. This is very, very important. When Sleepin makes his picks, you're going to put a 1 in the chat if you agree with his picks and a 2 in the chat if you disagree. Again, there's no wrong answers. There's no prizes here, but it's just sort of nice to get a sense of how the people felt about your picks. Let's get into round 1 here. And of course, we had a lengthy discussion about NFT comics here. And we saw that you had your tier list. And I thought it would be kind of interesting. We like to kind of slowly ease into things. But, I picked some 3 D tier list comic books here, 3 D tier comic lists, but all ones that are interesting books that have had a little spec value, maybe cooled off a bit, but let's talk about them here. And they're all kind of around the same price point. Of course, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 294. That's the Kraven's Last Hunt story, the famous Death of Kraven issue. We have Vote Loki number 1, which of course is a book that got really hot during the Loki show because we had, the presidential candidate of Loki in that. And then we have All New Captain America number 1. This would be the first kind of solo series for Sam Wilson Captain America, who effectively is our new Captain America as we speak right now. So Spec, Collect, Forget, Sleepin. How are you feeling with these books here? These are all in your NFT detail list.
I'm going to collect, and this is easy for me, is the Mike Zeck cover because I'm a huge Mike Zeck fan.
Okay.
So that's just, I actually own that physical comic. So once again, this is not good for other people. This is just me. So I don't know if that'd be a valid one.
There's no wrong answers here. There's, this is just your own opinion here.
Yeah. And I do like Spider-Man, but that run is so iconic. So, but it's really, I love that cover. So now I'm not really a keen fan of either of the other ones. So once again, I will go with the Spec of Vote Loki, and I'll kill the Captain. The Vote Loki one, I believe, is a Trad Moore cover and another artist that I really like. And that's why I'm going that one. Obviously, we're going to see Loki again. So from the Spec perspective, maybe that will have some validity. I don't know. Right. I do like the Captain America one, but we'll throw that one out. That's my answers.
All right. Final answers. Marrying ASM 294, Specking on Vote Loki number 1, and burning All New Cap 1. Well, chat, you guys know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat here if you agree with Sleepin's picks. 2s in the chat if you disagree. I mean, these are some books that are, they're books. They're books. I do personally like ASM 294 the most. I think most people would probably agree with that one being kind of the more iconic book to own. So really the question does kind of become, the Vote Loki or All New Cap 1. So I guess it kind of depends on which side of the aisle you like more. But AOA here with the 1, Lindsay with the 1, Carr with the 1, Guardsy with the 1, Zach with the 1, Jonathan with the 2, Circumstance with the 1, Juan with the 1, Origin with the 2, Brandon with the 1, Holden with the 1, Dan with the 1, STT with the 1. So overall, 90% or so. Coma with the late 1. Overall, everyone's kind of feeling you on this one. No love for first issue of Sam Wilson, Captain America. All right. Let's go on now to round number 2, and hopefully this one gets a little more interesting with these ones here. But we have some Bronze Age books here, some Bronze Age books, and ones that were hot and have kind of fallen off a little bit, but still have potential, in the MCU. Of course, the first one here we have ASM Annual number 16, first appearance of Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel later on in the series. We have Eternals number 1, first appearance of Icarus, first issue of the Eternals here. And then we have Miss Marvel number 1. This is first Carol Danvers as Ms. Marvel. Spec, Collect, Forget, Sleepin. How are you feeling with this one? And definitely chat, let us know your picks as well. I'll always love to hear what you guys think.
Okay. I am going to collect Eternals 1. And the only reason
Okay.
why that is because I'm the only person on it. Well, there's 2 people on this planet that like the Eternals movie, myself and my daughter. She's 18. So we're the only 2 humans on the planet that like the Eternals movie. And
You're
we
definitely
really
going
liked
to.
it. We really liked
Yeah.
it. And as a father-daughter, it was a good bonding experience for us.
Right. Right.
We both like that movie. So I'm keeping that one. I also found a 9.6 for $5. And I sold
Nice.
it. So that was one of my better wins in the world. Okay. For Spec, I'm going to pick Monica Rambeau. I mean, I think she's a big character. I think we really liked her in WandaVision. I liked her in WandaVision. I think we're going to see her in a lot of places. Obviously, the next
Yeah.
the
Maybe in
Marvel
Doctor Strange.
show, I think she's going to be in Secret Invasion. I think we're going to see her. She's awesome. Gotta love Spec. And then we're going to have to throw out Ms. Marvel. But I do.
Nope.
I like her.
No love for Ms. Marvel right there. So we're going to collect Eternals #1, Speckin' on ASM Annual 16, and burnin' Ms. Marvel #1. Chat, you guys know what to do. 1's in the chat if you agree here. 2's in the chat if you disagree. Yeah, I don't know. Eternals, I like things about it. I also didn't love things about it. It's kind of hit and miss for me, but I'm not ready to like give up completely on, the potential for the Eternals characters like being cool. Like remember when we had like Thor, Dark World, and Thor was kind of a lame character, and then it just took the right sort of, circumstances and films to make Thor like the best character ever. Like I genuinely think any of the Eternals characters could sort of do the same thing here. But let's take a look at the chat here. We have a Car with the 1 here, AOA with the 1, Dan with the 2, Holden with the 2, Origin with the 2, Zach with the 1, Coma with the mind blown, Circumstance with the 1, Lindsay with the 2, Guardsy with 2, Brandon with 2, Juan with the 1, STT with the 1. So, mixed take there, 50% or so. I think maybe people, maybe they didn't like Eternals, or maybe they did love Eternals. I don't know how you felt about that, but yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag there. I don't know how you feel about Ms. Marvel, but I feel like that's kind of a cool book as well. I don't know.
Oh, it is. That is a super cool book.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Going on now to round number 3, and it's not going to get any easier here because we have some villain books, some modern villain books here, and one of them is really hot. We got ASM number 361, first appearance of Carnage. We got Thor, God of Thunder #2, first appearance of Gore the God Butcher. Of course, that's going to be Christian Bale's character coming up soon. And we have Venom #3, the Donny Cates book, first appearance of Null. Obviously Null had that big King in Black crossover storyline here. So we got some modern villain first appearances here. Kind of like, it's like ASM 361. It's like, we already had that. We're getting Thor, Love and Thunder. Maybe one day we're going to build to, some symbiote universe in the Sony world with Null. Spec Collect Forget Sleeping. How are you feeling with this one? In chat, definitely let us know your thoughts.
Tough one. All right. So I'm going to, actually, that Venom 3 is a huge book. I love that book. I've got the 1 in 25. I've got the 3rd print. I've got some crazy, I got a bunch of them. But I'm going to have to spec on Venom 3. I think Noel's coming. I think we all know it. We don't know when. Is he going to be the crossover? Obviously Sony owns the rights, but is it going to be a crossover even with the MCU? That'd be crazy.
I mean, who really knows at this point what's going on there?
Right. So I'm going to spec on that one. I do like Gore the God Butcher, but not that much. So technically, I gotta collect ASM 361. You cannot throw that book away. I mean, come on.
Carnage fan.
Even though we've seen Carnage, the movie wasn't all that great, but that cover and that book is too iconic. So I'm sorry, Gore, you're gonna have to go bye-bye.
Burnin' Gore the God Butcher, on the heels of Thor, Love and Thunder. Sleepin' says to Gore, Thor, God of Thunder #2. Do you know what happens when lightning strikes a comic book?
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
I remember seeing that movie in the theater.
Is that like the worst hero one-liner that's ever been written in
It's
superhero
got to
movies.
be close.
It's like, it's so bad. And actually, did I just spoil what's going to happen in Thor: Love and Thunder? Like, eventually we're going to get a point where Gore the God Butcher gets electrocuted by Thor as he says some stupid line.
I hope not.
All right, well, let's check in with the chat here and see how the people feel you did here. Car with the 1, Guardsy with the 1, Huddle Fan with the 1, Kid Collector with the 1, Holden with the 1, Jay Collector with the 1, Zach with the 1, Origin with the 1, AOA with the 1. Definitely everybody was agreeing with you there. No love for Thor: God of Thunder. I'm surprised. I thought there would have been more people that were excited for, the Christian Bale portrayal, but, maybe there's more Donny Cates fans. I don't know. All right, going on now to round number 4. And I'm going to not do a preamble because I can't remember what's on the slide. And now I do. All right. Well, sometimes we like to kind of mix things up here, Sleeping. We do a lot of Marvel stuff. We're all Marvel fans, but I like to throw in some other things from time to time. And I felt like we need to do a Star Wars comic book slide. Now, I think you are a Star Wars fan. I think I've seen you actually with some of these books here, but let's talk about these 3 books on the slide. Of course, we have Star Wars Heir to the Empire #1. That would be the first appearance of Thrawn. We have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic #9. I don't know if you ever played KOTOR, but that's the first appearance of Revan. And then we have Star Wars 42, of course, a book that everyone is very familiar with at this point. First appearance of Boba Fett, a book that was pretty hot during the book of Boba Fett. Now, Sleeping, how are you feeling with this one? Spec, Collect, Forget. What are you thinking here with these 3 Star Wars books?
All right. Well, I'm a huge Thrawn fan. I have the crazy 1 in 50 Thrawn back there somewhere, signed or whatever and sketched. But I'm gonna have to spec on Thrawn. He's coming. Well, we already know he's coming because Ahsoka said that. And I think he's gonna be a huge character. So yeah, we're specking on Thrawn. And I just got my that book back from CGC. Sadly, I got like a 9.4 on it. I thought it was like higher. Of course, we always think it's higher.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to keep and collect Star Wars 42. Man, did Book of Boba Fett not treat Boba Fett very well, but I still like that character. And then I'm going to throw out poor Revan.
Poor Revan. No love for Revan there. We'll chat. You guys know what to do here. 1's in the chat if you agree. 2's in the chat if you disagree. Now, for me, of all these books, I personally would actually kind of like the Star Wars Knights of the Republic #9 because I played a lot of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It's probably one of my favorite games ever made. So that's definitely a book that, I'm not super into the Star Wars books, but that's a book I like. I also really do like the Thrawn book. I mean, I think you're right. I think it feels like they're like building to like
that's the obviously the wrong one, right? That's the one that's out of continuity. So it's just they consider that's the whatever. Anyways, we won't get into that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Car with the 1 here, Guardsy with the 1, Best Score with the 1, AOA with the 1, Laura with the 1, Zach with the 1, Brand with 1, 1 across the board. Everyone Sleeping, you guys are simpatico with that one there. No love for my Darth Revan, I guess. I don't know. No KOTOR fans out there. All right. Going on now to round number 5. And here we got some of my favorite things to talk about. Of course, villains. I love me some villains. I love me some Silver Age villains. And we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming up. And I kind of noticed, hey, there's a lot of books.
He's never coming. He's never coming.
That sort of relate to Doctor Strange, maybe. They're all kind of around the same price point. Maybe we're ultimately building to one of them. But we got 3 books here, of course. Silver Surfer #3. That, of course, is the first appearance of Mephisto, obviously the character that's going to make an appearance in every single show there is in Marvel. We have Strange Tales #111. First appearance of Baron Mordo. Second appearance of Doctor Strange, a book I actually recently traded, if you guys happen to catch my trading video. And Strange Tales #126. First appearance of Dormammu, but also the first appearance of Clea. Yeah. Another kind of rumored character here. Yeah. So Spec, Collect, Forget. I don't know how you're feeling about these books right here, Sleeping, but let us know your thoughts in chat. So let us know as well.
Collecting Silver Surfer 3 because I'm a huge Silver Surfer fan. I have that book. I know Mephisto is coming at some point. He's got to be coming at some point. So no, I don't know, but that's a great cover, one of my favorite covers, and I love Silver Surfer. So that may not be everybody else's deal, but I'm taking Mephisto.
Yeah.
we're going to spec on Clea. I mean, I think she's going to come at some point. Obviously, she's supposedly coming, in May. Don't they say like Charlize Theron maybe is the actress? We don't know.
That's the rumor right now.
So that'd be cool. I like her as an actress. So we'll see what happens. That's my spec. And but Dormammu is going to come back. You think about something. Yeah, but we'll have to throw that one out. Got to throw out Strange Tales one left.
And we're going to throw out this one.
Yeah.
No. Oh, Dormammu's going by.
I'm sorry. Mordo.
Oh, okay. Mordo's going by. No love for Asbestos Man there. One's in the chat if you agree here with Sleepin' Specs here. Two's in the chat if you disagree. We already got some to look at here. Guardsy with the 1, Car with the 1, Best Score with the 1, Zach with the 2. You can't burn Asbestos Man. Well, he already did. He actually did it. Dan with the 1 here and Laura with the 2. So, kind of a mixed little bag there. Some people feeling it, some people not feeling it. But I'd say overall, people agree with it. So, Silver Surfer 3, one of my favorite books. Obviously, everybody knows that I love Mephisto. I think that book actually was one of the first keys that I identified when I was a kid. Like I saw it on the wall. I was like, whoa, that book must be special. So that's kind of got a special place in my heart for that one. All right,
I got that one a little bit ago, and got the Silver Surfer label with it. So the label's
awesome.
Important.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, going on now to the next round here. We got some DC books. I like to kind of switch things up a little bit. We had some Star Wars stuff. I got to always show DC some love. Now, Sleepin', I don't know if you're too big of a DC person. I'm not too big of a DC person, but we like to show some love here. But I got 3 books that I think are really interesting. First up here, we have Hawkman number 4. This is the first appearance of Zatanna. Of course, it's kind of rumored, speculated right now that there's going to be a show with her or some kind of movie or something. We got Green Lantern number 59, first appearance of Guy Gardner Green Lantern. There's actually a show in development that's going to feature the Guy Gardner appearance. And then we have Aquaman number 1. This is the first Aquaman titled book. I do think that there is a first appearance here, but we don't really need to talk about it. But Spec Collect Forget. I don't know if you have any affinity to any of the to any of the DC characters here, but how are you feeling on this one? And in chat, definitely let us know what you're thinking as well.
I'm gonna keep the I'm gonna collect the Green Lantern. That's an interesting one. I like Green Lantern. Of all the DC characters, actually, Green Lantern is my favorite. Although, I mean, obviously the core Batman.
Yeah.
And then let's spec on Zatanna, and I'm sorry, Aquaman, but we're going to have to let you go.
Specking on Zatanna and burning first Aquaman series there. Well, chat, let us know what you guys think. 1's in the chat if you agree. 2's in the chat if you disagree. I think this one's really interesting. I mean, it's always interesting to kind of figure out, the books as I'm kind of lining them up and trying to figure out okay, well, what equal in price. And it's interesting to see where these books sort of settle. I think Aquaman is interesting because, maybe we're going to get that Aquaman sequel. Maybe Jason Momoa is going to make an impact. Maybe that pushes that book up. But again, it's not a first appearance. So it does make sense.
I think it's done filming, isn't it? I think it's wrapped.
Yeah, I think it is too. So, and I think you might be right to burn it because, these other ones are actual first appearances. Yes. Zatanna, I don't really know too much about her character. I know she's a fan favorite. So that could be really interesting for the future. All right, but checking in the chat here, Car with the 1, we got Guardsy with the 1, Origin with the 1, AOA with the 1, Lindsay with the 1, Brandon with the 1, Zach with the 2, Como with the 1, Laura with the 2. So, kind of similar, actually, almost exactly what we saw last time. I feel like Zach and Laura are simpatico with their feelings on these books because I think they are the outliers with the reactions there. But, kind of interesting thing there. But let's go on now to round number 6. No, round number 7. Sorry, guys. Round number 7. We got 3 first appearances of characters that are soon to maybe be big parts in the MCU, although maybe one of them has sort of lost his opportunity in the eyes of fans. Well, of course, we have ASM number 101, hottest movie that there's been in the last couple months. Of course, we had Morbius, the first appearance of Morbius, and this book has been, definitely plummeting a little bit, but now that ironically is kind of lined up with these other 2 here. We have Avengers number 48. This is the first appearance of Black Knight. Of course, Dane Whitman kind of make his appearance as the Black Knight character eventually. He was in Eternals, but he wasn't, the Black Knight persona. And then we have Thor 165, first full appearance of him, aka Adam Warlock, the book people tend to feel like is the #1 Adam Warlock book. Spec Collect Forget. How are you feeling with this one? I don't know if you saw Morbius and if that tainted your feeling towards these books right here, but let us know what you think, Sleepin'.
I did not see it. Man, I like that cover and I like that book. But from a Spec perspective, let's roll with Dane Whitman. Interesting note, a friend of mine has a 9.8 of that book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's had it forever. So what a crazy one to have, right?
Is he speccing on it though? Is he waiting for that?
He's like a massive, I think he also might have like a 9.8 Hulk 181. Oh wow, he is a crazy collector. Anyways,
yeah.
Okay, so but always fun, crazy books. Okay, so then I'm going to I'm specking, right? So I'm going to spec on Adam Warlock, who's a cool character, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And I'm going to throw out Spider-Man and Morbius, which is as difficult as it is.
Wait, so putting the ring on.
Oh yeah,
Adam Warlock there.
So I'm collecting that one. I'm collecting Adam Warlock, who I do like. So
collecting Adam Warlock.
Then we'll throw out poor Morbius.
Throwing out Morbius.
I like that.
No.
I like that book.
No love for Morbius there. We'll chat. You guys know what to do. Checking in with the chat here. We got one with the Laura here with the 1, Car with the 1, Zach with the 1, Juan with the 1, Feder with the 2, Guardsy with the 2, AOA with the 1, Brandon with the 1, Dan with the 1, Origin with the 1, STT with the 1, Blade 2, third. Okay, we even have
Blade 2. They fight in a club. That's the opening scene, right?
Yeah, I'm not really. I thought it was #2, but hey, doesn't matter. Yeah, but again, it is interesting. I feel like the brand of Morbius has really been hurt over that film, and it is really interesting how talk about Eternals too. There was actually a moment where I feel like the brand of Eternals was hurt so bad, like you could get some of those books for less than you could have even gotten them for years ago. So kind of an interesting thing to talk about, as well as we get more characters in films and things like that. All right. Going on now to round number 8. Spec Collect Forget. We got some modern grails, some big modern grails. We talked about one of them, the NFT version of it, but I don't know if these other ones have NFT comics yet. Certainly the DC one doesn't. But we have 3 modern grails here. We have ASM number 300. Of course, this is the first full appearance of the character known as Venom, the classic Todd McFarlane art. A cover that everybody loves, has been homaged so many times. We have Ultimate Fallout number 4, of course, first appearance of Miles Morales Spider-Man, probably the most expensive modern Marvel comic there is. And then we have Batman Adventures number 12, another expensive grail here. This is the first appearance of Harley Quinn, so kind of a DC, modern grail as well. Spec Collect Forget. How are you feeling with these 3 characters here, Sleeping? I think it's really interesting because as I was looking at the values, I'm like, these all kind of hover close to the same time.
Ultimate Fallout 4 because I'm such a huge Miles fan. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably not
collecting Miles.
And then I'll spec on Venom, even though his movies have not been very good, but also a huge Venom fan. This is probably very biased towards my fandom here. And then we'll have to throw out Harley Quinn.
Ooh, yeah. Definitely a Marvel homer, I guess you would call it here. Definitely someone who loves Marvel comics more than DC comics. No love for Margot Robbie and, the Batman animated show. Spec Collect Forget. You guys know what to do. 1's in the chat if you agree here. 2's in the chat if you disagree. I can't totally disagree with your picks here because I also am more into, Marvel personally. But I do have a fondness for that Batman animated show, and that definitely, that one definitely gives me the member berries. Interesting that you went with Ultimate Fallout 4. I would have thought you would maybe pick ASM 300, but
I have an answer.
Go either way here.
I'm lucky to have some of these books, so that's
fair enough. All right, checking in with the chat here. Car with the 1, AOA with the 2, Origin with the 1, Guardsy with the 1, Marvel Dakota with the 2, Lindsay with the 1.5, not really sure. Dan with an absolute 1, clap, 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 clap. Como with the Here Comes the Rage. There may be some fans out there for Harley Quinn, but obviously they're not playing the game. It is Sleepin's picks, and we're gonna have to send Batman Adventures down with Mephisto there. All right. Coming on now, 2 more rounds. You've made it through so far, 8 hot seat filled rounds, but we're not out of the woods yet. Spec, Collect, Forget. You know I had to pick some major Grail villains because I love to do villains. So I like to have some villain slides. And we have some rogue gallery for Spider-Man. Some of the biggest Spider-Man villains there are in all of his repertoire of villains. But we have ASM number 2 here. This is the first appearance of Vulture. Incidentally, this is also the 3rd appearance of Spider-Man. We have ASM number 3, which is the first appearance of Dr. Octopus. 4th appearance of Spider-Man, I guess if you want to credit it as the 4th appearance of Spider-Man. And we have ASM 14 here, first appearance of the Green Goblin. So Spec, Collect, Forget. How are you feeling about this one, Sleepin'? I almost wonder, like, you can come at this with a logical sensibility, or you can think of it in terms of like just what villain you personally like the most. Chat, let us know what you guys think as well for this one.
Man, this is rough. All right. Because there's no way you can trash any of these books. We're going to collect ASM 3 because I love that cover and I love Doc Ock. So we're going to collect that. We are going to spec on the Vulture because Michael Keaton is here and, they're going to get him going in some way, shape, or form. So,
oh yeah. Specing
and
on
then
Vulture.
we're going to have to throw out the Green Goblin.
Ooh,
Which is
wow.
rough, but I don't know. That's what I'm going with.
One of them had to be burned. You know how it is.
Don't tell Harry.
Don't tell Harry, man. Don't tell Harry. And don't tell the chat here because we got to check in with some of these.
Not like my pick.
So let's take a look at the chat here. AOA with the 1, so starting off good, but Guardsy with the 2, Guardsy with the double 2. Yeah, I don't know if you can vote twice. Carr with the 2, Guardsy with the third 2, voting 3 times. T-Dot with the 2, Zach with the 2, Como with the this is blasphemy. T-Dot with the 2, Como with the 2, T-Dot with the 2, and with the 2. Dan with the, I think it's past Sleepy's bedtime.
Dan, I think you're right.
I definitely think the whole chat, when they saw you burn the Green Goblin, their reaction was a little something like this.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Who's got crazy books is Dan. That Dan.
Oh, Dan's got some great books.
An amazing collection.
Absolutely. Chat, I'm curious to know too, like, what would you guys have burned here? I feel like maybe people don't like Vulture. I think maybe Vulture would be the one.
People don't like Vulture. Okay.
But it is the 3rd Spider-Man. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say with those ones.
That was tough. Right.
Well, going on now to the final round, it's not getting any easier. We did some big Grail villains. And of course, we have to do some more Grails, superheroes, and 1 villain. We got Spec, Collect, Forget, the final round. 3 major Grail books. First up, Fantastic Four, number 5. Of course, that is the first appearance of Dr. Doom. We have Journey into Mystery, number 83, first appearance of Thor, and Tales of Suspense, number 39, first appearance of Iron Man. Spec, Collect, Forget. What are you feeling on these ones here? Some big Grail books here. Incidentally, all around the same price point. And of course, chat, let us know what you guys would pick as well.
All right. I'm going to have to collect Tales of Suspense. I'm a big Iron Man fan. I do like Thor a lot too, but we'll collect Tales of Suspense 39, TOS 39. It's on my list. I actually want to get that book, but obviously super expensive. So I gotta find some money. Maybe I can sell some NFTs, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to spec on Dr. Doom, another book that I really, really wanted to get this past year. I did spend that money on NFTs. Once again, more hate from your chat. Just being honest. Wow.
Diversify.
Right. No, I'll get it eventually. And unfortunately, Thor, man.
Wow.
Man, this is rough.
The hammer is coming down on Thor. Goodbye. Burning Thor right there.
We need to erase, we need to erase this part of the video.
Yeah, well, there's no wrong answers, and that's the thing. That's the game. You have to pick one. So we are marrying Tales of Suspense 39, first appearance of Iron Man. We're specking on Fantastic Four, number 5, first appearance of Dr. Doom. Of course, Doom, the next probably big bad in the MCU, and we're going to burn Journey into Mystery 83. Well, chat, you guys, of course, know what to do here. One's in the chat if you agree, twos in the chat if you disagree. How are you feeling here? I mean, this one is a tough one. I mean, when I was putting this together, I was like, you can't go wrong really with this one. You can't go wrong. Maybe there's the superhero bias. I don't really know, but like, specking on Doom is so huge, but it's really interesting to, prepare these slides and think about how all these book values are kind of around that same price point.
JIM 83 is a hard one to find. I mean, I obviously look for a low grade. It's hard to find, and one that's just not completely trashed. So like most of my low grade ones, like my Incredible Hulk, is low grade, but it actually looks really good. That's what I'm trying to do. And I was not able to find a reasonable JIM 83. And it's a rough book.
All right. Well, let's check in with the chat here and see what they had to say. Car with the 1 here, AOA with the 1, Coma with the fire. Let's see here. We have Zach with the 2, Grady with the 1.5, Origin with the 2, Dan with the 1, Lindsay with the 2, T-Dot with the 2, Caleb with the 2, but no easy answer. So, definitely a mixed bag there, but at the same time, it's like, there's no right answers here. I mean, we got a lot of people that said 1, some people said 2. Again, it's hard to say with these ones because, this is the ultimate grail, and eventually you got to burn one of them right there. Well, Sleepin', we made it through 10 rounds of Spec, Collect, Forget. You sat in the hot seat. I think overall you did very, very well. The people definitely were feeling, I'd say, more of your picks than not. Maybe a miss or 2 in there, but hey, that's the game. I always think to myself, if I was playing this game, I probably would get 2s all day because I know what I would pick. But, again, Sleepin', thank you so much for playing this and being in the hot seat.
Thanks. That was great.